Yeah.
Absolutely. Glad to have you. And let me start here. What did you sort of learn about yourself as a first-year head coach last year, particularly at North Carolina A&T?
I think probably the thing that stood out most for me is I never realized that I was kind of the micromanager, like the details of what I was looking for. I had my hands in everything, and when you want it to look a certain way and you're not getting what you want, then you kind of dive right in.
And then, of course, your thoughts on the 2023 season.
Yeah, that's in the history books. We're looking forward. I look at the growing pains of what that looked like, understanding that we had some games that were very winnable throughout the course of the season against some really talented teams. And so in my mind, I know we're not that far away with the kids that we've added to our program. Really, really excited about what this season looks like.
I thought one of those games you talked about, especially being right there, and you talk about, that game against Delaware, like you're right there. I guess that's sort of what you're talking about, being in a lot of those games, especially in the first season in the CAA, the toughest conference in FCS.
Oh, yeah. Not only the Delaware game, but if you go back and look at our game against Rhode Island on the road, we're there. We're literally driving the ball to go ahead with the go-ahead touchdown or to win it on a 2-point play, and we turn the ball over at the very end there. So there's some really encouraging things about the lessons we learned, and I'm excited about this upcoming season.
Speak to, you have a new offensive coordinator in David Marsh. Speak to what he brings to the table.
Very, very innovative mind and understands how to craft the plan to take advantage of the talent that we have. And, if you look at his background, some years, they've been really, really good throwing the football, and some years they've been amongst the best in the country at rushing and running the football. And so really excited about what I've seen from the spring and heading into training camp.
Yeah, the spring was really, really good. I think what's interesting is, if I'm not mistaken, you didn't have a prior relationship with Coach Marsh, correct? And generally in this, profession, in the business, you generally have, prior relationships, which goes to the hire of an offensive coordinator, assistant coach, et cetera. What jumped out about Coach Marsh to you?
As you're going down your checklist of the things that are important, and he started checking off the boxes, HBCU experience, check that box. Top rushing offense, check that box. Great quarterback play, check that box. And so when you start looking at all the things the boxes that he checked, and then, there's a lot of relationships that come into the decision also. And so when you know people that know him and they say, oh, he's your kind of guy, that carries a lot of weight also.
Yeah, of course, coached at Texas Southern last year, had the Owens kid at running back, had Body at the quarterback position, and really put up some really significant numbers, did Texas Southern offense. Those two guys in particular, and the depth at the running back position.
Yeah, so we really want to be a physical running team to be able to control the football and the clock, and having Kenji and Wes and Shamik Blizzard, who played a little bit last season and got in and showed some explosiveness. We got a freshman, Daniel Coles, that I'm really, really excited about. I think our guys have embraced what we want to be offensively. And watching Kenji grow, watching Wes, become a really physical downhill runner is going to allow us to play the kind of football we want to play.
3 quarterbacks hit the transfer portal. We've been talking about the transfer portal. 3 quarterbacks hit the transfer portal for you, but I think in part because, look, Kevin White looked really, really good last year we talked about true freshman, talked about that with Coach Massey. He had a true freshman last year. He looked good. He got injured. So speak to specifically Kevin White and your expectations for him in 2024.
Well, he's grown so much just in the last 6, 7 months, going through the winter conditioning program, spring practice, and during the player-led workouts throughout the summer here. He has a greater grasp of what it takes to be a college quarterback now. Last year, just kind of operated off of his natural talent, but has a greater grasp of what it takes to be a college quarterback. He's got really good football IQ. He can run. He's got a really good arm. And so just expecting significantly more plays from Kevin this year.
And you used the transfer portal to add depth, but really specifically at the quarterback position.
We did. We signed Justin Fomby, who's 6'3", close to 6'4", played a lot of football on the collegiate level, very intelligent, really talented passer, great teammate. He's brought so much to our team in the short time that he's been here, being a mentor to Kevin and some of the other younger quarterbacks on our team, and then literally just kind of showing what leadership is like for the offense. So really excited.
And we know that the running backs will aid, Kevin White in terms of him getting more acclimated with the offense. Wide receivers, speak to that position in particular. You actually have a couple of guys that are coming back as well.
We do. We have Jakari Caldwell, who's 6'4", just under 200 pounds, can go up, great catch radius. Monty Jones is back, a slot receiver that has some phenomenal catches for us last season. So we're counting on them. But we also signed some really talented kids that I'm really, really fired up about. Cortez Lane is, a dynamic ball-in-hand guy with tremendous speed. Corbin Wilson, 6'2", 210-pound, great long speed and athleticism. And I think you'll see those kids really contribute this season.
Vincent Brown, of course, the head football coach at North Carolina A&T, joins us here on the countdown to kickoff. Defense, and in particular the secondary. I mean, yeah, you lose a kid in a variant cold, but, man, you got that secondary is going to be really, really good, anchored by Karan Prunty, one of the best corners in the country. Talk about the experience and how important that back end is in terms of having that experience as far as the whole defense is concerned.
It's huge. I feel like we should have the best secondary in the conference. We have all seniors and graduate students back there that have played a lot of football. Their understanding of what we're trying to do defensively has grown exponentially. They can all run. They all have length. They have size. They're competitive. This offseason's been tremendous because having KP back and Ty Williams and David Laney, Janai Sumter, Aaron Harris has been a real bonus in teaching our younger players what it should look like. So our secondary should really be one of the strengths of our team.
Last season was a tough season, and that Aggie fan base is extremely passionate, no question about that. What do you sort of say to that fan base to kind of, calm them a bit, let them know that things are going to be different in 24, but that it also takes time to build a program?
Yeah, I mean, we all want to win right out the gates. Our goal was to win every single game we were in last year. And when you go back and look at some of the ways we lost games, you'd say, okay, well, hopefully those are learning lessons for our players and coaches as well. I think the growth that I've seen in our program from what we've done in the classroom, having the highest GPA the team has had in probably 12, 15 years, to the community service aspect, those all lay the foundation for great teams. Because great teams, there's no I. It's about we, us, and ours. And when kids understand that, they fight for each other. And so I'll say to our fan base that I'm very excited and very confident that we'll put a product on the field that they'll be excited about this season.
Getting away momentarily from your role as the head football coach at A&T, let me take you back to your days at Mississippi Valley State. Now, I didn't have a chance to see you play, but if somebody has a nickname of The Undertaker, They must have been really, really good. By the way, played in the National Football League, made three Pro Bowls, was really, really good. But now you're up, has been nominated for the College Football Hall of Fame, which is a really, really high honor, particularly coming from an HBCU. What your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor just to be mentioned in, the same conversations with some of the greats that have ever played. And, we were part of a successful program during my time, had great teammates and great support, and was just blessed with the opportunity to grow and develop into a good player. And, I'm excited just to be nominated.
No doubt. And back to the A&T piece, use of the transfer portal for you. We talked about from a quarterback perspective, but talk about using the portal for other needs that need to be filled.
Yeah, so our philosophy, my philosophy, is to try to build our team through high school recruiting and then supplement our team through the portal. And so, we felt like we've done a pretty good job this first true cycle of doing that, adding a veteran quarterback in Justin Fomby, a veteran offensive lineman in R.J. Adams, a veteran defensive tackle in DeAndre Dingle Prince. And we really felt like those guys have come in